Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Persepolis stands as one of the most breathtaking cities of the ancient world, a symbol of Persian grandeur, power, and advanced architectural mastery. Built by Darius the Great in the 6th century BCE, it became the ceremonial capital of the Achaemenid Empire, showcasing immense palaces, intricate reliefs, and towering columns that still awe visitors today. But what if its creation wasn't solely the work of human hands? Some alternative theories suggest that Persepolis, along with other remarkable ancient sites, could have connections to a mysterious group of beings known as the Anunnaki. According to Mesopotamian mythology, the Anunnaki were deities, or perhaps something more. Some researchers and theorists claim they were not gods in the traditional sense, but rather advanced extraterrestrial visitors who influenced early civilizations. Could they have played a role in the construction of Persepolis? To understand this theory, we first need to explore who the Anunnaki were and why their presence has been linked to ancient ruins across the world. The Anunnaki originate from Sumerian mythology, first mentioned in cuneiform texts dating back over 4,000 years. Described as powerful beings who descended from the heavens, they were said to have given knowledge to early humans, guiding the development of agriculture, writing, and even monumental architecture. Theories connecting them to sites like the ziggurats of Mesopotamia, the pyramids of Egypt, and the megaliths of South America raise the question: could Persepolis also bear their influence? The official historical record attributes Persepolis to the Achaemenid kings, but some of its architectural feats, its massive stone blocks, precise construction, and sophisticated drainage systems, have led some to wonder if its builders had knowledge beyond their time. Is it possible that Darius the Great and his architects were working with information passed down from an unknown source? Or is this simply another myth, one that seeks to explain human ingenuity through supernatural means? As we dive deeper into this mystery, we will examine the evidence, the myths, and the speculations surrounding Persepolis and the Anunnaki. Was this grand city truly the work of Persian kings alone? Or could there be a hidden story buried beneath its ruins? Persepolis, the ceremonial capital of the Achaemenid Persian Empire, is one of the most extraordinary archaeological sites in the world. Situated in present-day Iran, this magnificent city was built by Darius the Great around 518 BCE and expanded by his successors, Xerxes I and Artaxerxes I. More than just a political and administrative hub, Persepolis was a grand statement of imperial power designed to showcase the wealth, sophistication, and divine authority of the Persian kings. But was it solely a human achievement, or is there more to its creation than meets the eye? Overview of Persepolis, a symbol of Persian grandeur. Persepolis was strategically located in a remote mountainous region, likely chosen for both its defensibility and its sacred significance. The city was not a typical urban settlement, but rather a ceremonial and political center, where kings received tribute from across the vast Persian Empire and conducted elaborate festivals, particularly Nowruz, the Persian New Year. It was here that emissaries from Egypt, India, Greece, and Babylon gathered, paying homage to the Achaemenid rulers, who saw themselves as the rightful rulers of the world. The ruins of Persepolis still speak of its former glory. The sprawling complex included the Apadana, the Grand Audience Hall, the Hall of 100 Columns, and the Treasury, each structure adorned with stunningly detailed reliefs depicting Persian kings, warriors, and foreign dignitaries. The scale and precision of the construction reflect not just advanced engineering, but also a deep cultural and possibly cosmic significance. Architectural wonders, techniques beyond their time. One of the most astonishing aspects of Persepolis is its architectural sophistication. The builders of the city used massive stone blocks, some weighing several tons, cut and fitted together with extraordinary precision, without the use of mortar. This technique is similar to that seen in other ancient megalithic structures around the world, raising questions about how such precise engineering was achieved in an era without modern technology. The columns of Persepolis, some reaching over 20 meters, 65 feet in height, demonstrate a mastery of structural engineering. The stairways and gateways were designed to create a sense of awe, with the famous Gate of All Nations acting as a symbolic entryway for visitors from across the empire. The reliefs, carved with near-perfect symmetry, depict humans, animals, and mythical beings in astonishing detail. Additionally, Persepolis had a sophisticated drainage system, ensuring that rainwater would not damage the structures, evidence of advanced planning and knowledge of hydraulic engineering. This level of architectural expertise has led some alternative researchers to question whether the knowledge used to construct Persepolis was passed down from an unknown, possibly non-human source. Persian mythology and cosmic connections. The Persian kings were deeply religious, believing their rule was divinely sanctioned by Ahura Mazda, the supreme god of Zoroastrianism. Inscriptions found at Persepolis indicate that the kings saw themselves as chosen by the gods to bring order to the world, a belief that was reinforced through architecture and ritual. However, some myths suggest that ancient Persian civilization had connections to cosmic forces beyond human understanding. The Anunnaki, mentioned in Sumerian and Akkadian texts, were believed to be deities, or possibly extraterrestrial beings, who imparted knowledge to early humans. While the Anunnaki were more closely associated with Mesopotamian culture, some alternative theorists suggest that their influence extended to Persia as well. Could the Persian kings have believed they were guided by otherworldly beings? Some legends speak of celestial beings descending from the heavens, offering wisdom and technological advancements to early civilizations. Given the precision and grandeur of Persepolis, is it possible that its construction was influenced by knowledge from beyond our world? While mainstream archaeology attributes Persepolis entirely to human ingenuity, the myths and mysteries surrounding its construction continue to intrigue those who question whether our ancestors were assisted by forces unknown. As we continue exploring, we will dive deeper into the connections between ancient Persia, the Anunnaki, and the possibility that Persepolis was more than just a human marvel. The Anunnaki are among the most mysterious figures in ancient mythology. Originating in Sumerian texts, they were described as powerful deities who played a role in the creation and guidance of humanity. But were they simply gods in the mythological sense, or could they have been something more? Some researchers propose that the Anunnaki were not divine beings, but extraterrestrial visitors, advanced entities who influenced early civilizations, passing down knowledge in fields such as agriculture, writing, and architecture. Could they have also played a role in the construction of monumental sites like Persepolis? Origin in Sumerian mythology: gods or ancient astronauts. The first mentions of the Anunnaki appear in Sumerian cuneiform tablets, dating back over 4,000 years. In traditional Mesopotamian belief, the Anunnaki were a group of deities associated with the heavens, the earth, and the underworld. They were often depicted as powerful figures who controlled the fate of humanity, influencing the rulers of ancient city-states such as Ur, Babylon, and Nineveh. According to ancient myths, the Anunnaki were led by Anu, the sky god, and Enlil, the god of air and storms. Some texts describe them as divine judges, while others suggest they played a role in human affairs, guiding civilization's development. However, alternative theories, popularized by authors such as Zecharia Sitchin, propose that the Anunnaki were not mythical gods, but rather ancient astronauts. Sitchin's interpretation of Sumerian texts suggests that the Anunnaki were an advanced race that visited Earth from another world, possibly the planet Nibiru. He claimed that they genetically engineered early humans, teaching them agriculture, metallurgy, and construction techniques. If these theories hold any truth, could the knowledge of the Anunnaki have been passed down through different civilizations, eventually reaching the Persian Empire and influencing the construction of Persepolis? Anunnaki, in ancient texts. Insights from Sumerian tablets and the Enuma Elish. The idea that the Anunnaki were influential figures in early civilizations comes primarily from Mesopotamian writings, such as the Enuma Elish, the Babylonian creation epic, and various Sumerian king lists. These texts describe the Anunnaki as divine beings who shaped human destiny, granted kingship to rulers, and possessed superior knowledge. One of the most intriguing elements of these writings is their description of celestial origins. The Enuma Elish speaks of gods who descended from the heavens to shape the earth and establish order. Some alternative researchers argue that these stories could be references to advanced beings who came from space rather than traditional mythological gods. In certain Sumerian texts, the Anunnaki are depicted as builders and architects, responsible for the construction of temples and ziggurats, massive stepped structures that resemble pyramids. The precision and scale of these buildings have led some to speculate that the knowledge required to create them came from an external source. Could this same knowledge have been passed down over the centuries, influencing the construction of later monumental sites such as Persepolis? Connection to advanced knowledge. Did they share architectural and engineering wisdom? If the Anunnaki were indeed real beings, whether divine or extraterrestrial, what kind of knowledge might they have shared with ancient civilizations? Some theorists suggest that their influence can be seen in the incredible architectural feats of early societies, from the pyramids of Egypt to the massive stone cities of South America. Certain anomalies in ancient construction methods raise questions about how early civilizations achieved such precise engineering. In the case of Persepolis, the massive stone blocks, complex reliefs, and advanced water management systems seem highly sophisticated for the time. While mainstream historians credit this to skilled Persian artisans and engineers, alternative theories suggest that knowledge from an older, more advanced civilization, or even an extraterrestrial influence, may have played a role. Could the engineering principles used in Persepolis have roots in knowledge passed down from Mesopotamian cultures, originally inspired by the Anunnaki? If so, was this knowledge purely human innovation, or was it guided by an unknown force? The idea that the Anunnaki shared knowledge with early humans remains controversial, but the connections between ancient mythologies, advanced architecture, and unexplained engineering feats continue to fuel the debate. As we continue our exploration, we will examine whether Persepolis holds any clues linking it to these mysterious figures, and whether the Anunnaki's influence truly extended into the Persian Empire. The grandeur of Persepolis raises many questions not only about Persian architectural mastery, but also about the possibility of external influences, perhaps even ones beyond human history. Some researchers suggest that Persepolis, much like other ancient sites, contains signs of knowledge that could have originated with the Anunnaki. Could this ceremonial capital have been part of an ancient network of advanced civilizations, all linked by knowledge that was passed down from a lost era, advanced stonework and megalithic architecture, beyond human capability? One of the most striking aspects of Persepolis is its intricate stonework. The site features massive limestone blocks, some weighing several tons, that were cut and fitted together with extraordinary precision, without the use of mortar. This construction technique bears similarities to other ancient megalithic sites that some theorists associate with the Anunnaki, such as the ziggurats of Sumer and Babylon, the pyramids of Egypt, and even distant structures in South America. In traditional archaeology, these marvels are attributed to skilled labor and advanced planning. However, alternative theorists argue that the precision seen in these sites suggests the use of knowledge or technology that seems out of place for the time period. Could the builders of Persepolis have inherited construction techniques from an earlier civilization, one that had access to advanced engineering methods? Additionally, some of the stone reliefs at Persepolis contain depictions of figures that resemble beings from Mesopotamian mythology, some appearing almost otherworldly in their elaborate headdresses and winged imagery. While mainstream scholars interpret these as symbolic representations of Persian deities and rulers, others speculate that they may hint at an ancestral connection to the Anunnaki, who were often depicted in similar ways in Sumerian art. Comparison. To other alleged Anunnaki-linked sites, Persepolis is not the only site to raise questions about connections to ancient, possibly extraterrestrial knowledge. Several other locations have been suggested as part of a hidden global history involving the Anunnaki, ziggurats of Sumer and Babylon. These stepped pyramid-like structures, such as the famous ziggurat of Ur, were believed to be dwelling places of the gods. The Anunnaki were said to have resided in these grand temples, guiding human civilization. The Great Pyramids of Egypt. Theories suggest that the Anunnaki, or those influenced by them, may have played a role in the construction of the pyramids, due to the extreme precision of their design. Megalithic sites in South America, places like Tiwanaku and Pumapunku in Bolivia, exhibit stone-cutting techniques that some claim were beyond the capabilities of the civilizations that supposedly built them. The similarities in stone-cutting precision, alignment with celestial bodies, and the presence of mythology describing beings who descended from the sky all point to a potential shared influence. Could Persepolis be yet another piece of this puzzle? Mythological parallels. Persian gods versus Sumerian gods. Are they connected? Persian mythology, much like Mesopotamian beliefs, was deeply rooted in the idea that rulers were chosen by divine forces. The primary deity of Zoroastrianism, Ahura Mazda, was seen as the ultimate god of wisdom and order. In inscriptions at Persepolis, Persian kings frequently mention that their right to rule was granted by Ahura Mazda, reinforcing the idea that their power came from the heavens. This closely resembles the way Mesopotamian kings viewed their connection to the Anunnaki. In Sumerian and Akkadian texts, rulers were often depicted as being granted kingship by divine beings. The idea of a divine mandate was common across these cultures, leading some to wonder, could the Persian concept of kingship have been influenced by earlier Mesopotamian traditions, which themselves were based on interactions with the Anunnaki? Were the Anunnaki and the Persian gods simply different cultural interpretations of the same group of powerful ancient beings? If the Anunnaki had once provided knowledge to Sumerian and Babylonian rulers, could their influence have extended into the Achaemenid Persian Empire centuries later? Some depictions of winged figures at Persepolis bear a resemblance to the Anunnaki-like beings seen in Mesopotamian reliefs. While historians classify these as representations of Persian divine figures or protective spirits, others argue that they hint at a deeper connection between Persian and Mesopotamian mythologies, one that may have been shaped by ancient beings who left their mark on multiple civilizations. Lost knowledge and unfinished mysteries. Was Persepolis part of an ancient global network? One of the enduring mysteries of Persepolis is how much knowledge was lost when the city was destroyed by Alexander the Great in 330 BCE. Some reports suggest that Persepolis contained a vast library of records, possibly including texts that held advanced knowledge inherited from earlier civilizations. If such records had survived, could they have contained evidence of Anunnaki influence or knowledge passed down from an unknown source? Additionally, some theorists propose that ancient civilizations may have been part of a larger, interconnected network. Sites across the ancient world, from Mesopotamia to Egypt to the Indus Valley, share striking similarities in their architectural styles, myths, and astronomical alignments. Some alternative researchers believe that this is evidence of a once unified system of knowledge, possibly overseen or guided by a common source, whether it be a lost human civilization or an external influence like the Anunnaki. Could Persepolis have been a continuation of this network, using knowledge inherited from older Mesopotamian cities? If so, was this knowledge purely human, or was it influenced by an advanced presence that has since been forgotten? While mainstream historians attribute Persepolis's construction entirely to the ingenuity of Persian architects and laborers, the deeper connections between its design, its mythology, and its potential ties to older civilizations remain an open question. Was Persepolis truly just a human marvel, or was it one of the last great structures to carry remnants of knowledge that originated far earlier, perhaps even from beyond our world? As we continue our journey into the mysteries of Persepolis and the Anunnaki, the question remains, is there hidden evidence of an advanced influence waiting to be uncovered? The idea that Persepolis could have been influenced by the Anunnaki or otherworldly beings is a topic that sits at the intersection of mainstream history and ancient alien theories. On one side, scholars argue that the Achaemenid Persians were highly advanced and fully capable of constructing their magnificent capital without external or extraterrestrial help. On the other side, alternative researchers suggest that similarities between Persepolis and other ancient sites hint at a lost source of knowledge, one that may have originated from the Anunnaki or an unknown civilization predating recorded history. But which perspective holds more weight? Could there be a middle ground where both mainstream history and ancient mysteries coexist? Mainstream historical perspective. Persepolis as a human achievement. From an academic standpoint, there is no mystery surrounding the construction of Persepolis. Historians and archaeologists widely accept that it was built by the Achaemenid Persian Empire under Darius the Great and his successors between 518 BCE and 330 BCE. There is ample evidence of Persian engineering techniques, organization, and labor systems that made its construction possible. Human ingenuity and engineering. Mainstream historians emphasize that the Achaemenid Empire had access to vast resources, including skilled stonemasons, artisans, and engineers from across their empire, which stretched from Egypt to India. The construction techniques used at Persepolis are consistent with other Persian architectural projects, showing a logical progression rather than a sudden leap in technology. The precision of the stonework can be explained by traditional methods, such as copper chisels, rope and pulley systems, and ramps. Unlike some other ancient sites with mysterious elements, such as Pumapunku in Bolivia, where stones appear to have been shaped with a precision beyond known tools, Persepolis does not exhibit inexplicable anomalies in its construction. Cultural evolution, not alien influence. Another argument from historians is that the similarities between Persepolis and Mesopotamian sites do not indicate alien intervention, but rather cultural diffusion. The Persians inherited artistic and architectural influences from the earlier civilizations they conquered or interacted with, including the Mesopotamians, Sumerians, Babylonians, Assyrians, the Elamites, who previously occupied the region, the Egyptians, whose stone-cutting and monumental architecture may have also influenced Persian builders. This explains why Persepolis contains reliefs and symbols reminiscent of Mesopotamian traditions. The winged figures and divine imagery seen in the carvings are not necessarily representations of the Anunnaki, but could instead be artistic continuations of older cultural motifs. Ancient alien theorists' view. Is there more to the story? Despite the strong academic consensus, ancient astronaut theorists and alternative historians argue that certain aspects of Persepolis and ancient civilizations in general suggest something more than mere human ingenuity. Their reasoning includes precision and scale. Beyond the time period. Some alternative researchers claim that the massive limestone blocks at Persepolis would have been difficult to cut and transport using the tools officially attributed to the IE era. They compare the construction methods to other sites, such as the ziggurats of Mesopotamia and the Great Pyramids of Egypt, which also exhibit extreme precision and alignment with celestial bodies. The uniformity and complexity of the site's layout suggest advanced knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, and engineering. Mythological clues. Did the Persians preserve Anunnaki knowledge? Some theorists argue that the divine imagery in Persepolis suggests a direct connection to the Anunnaki, who were described in Mesopotamian texts as sky gods that descended to earth. The Persian belief in divine kingship, granted by Ahura Mazda, mirrors the Sumerian concept of kings receiving authority from the Anunnaki. There are recurring motifs of hybrid beings, winged figures, and celestial symbols that some believe could be remnants of an older hidden knowledge system. Final thoughts. Could both perspectives have some truth? As with many ancient mysteries, the debate over Persepolis and the Anunnaki influence ultimately comes down to interpretation. The mainstream view provides strong, well-documented evidence that Persepolis was built by the Persians using known engineering techniques. The empire was one of the most powerful of its time, with the capability to construct such a grand city without external assistance. Ancient astronaut theorists, however, raise valid questions about recurring patterns in ancient architecture and mythology. While mainstream historians attribute these similarities to cultural exchange, alternative researchers suggest that they may point to a lost shared knowledge, whether from a forgotten human civilization or something beyond. Could the truth lie somewhere in the middle? Perhaps Persepolis was indeed a human achievement, but one built upon knowledge passed down through civilizations whose origins remain unknown. The possibility remains that the wisdom of the past, whether from a forgotten advanced civilization or from the stories of divine beings like the Anunnaki, played a role in shaping the architectural wonders we see today. As we continue uncovering history's secrets, one thing is certain. Persepolis stands as a testament to ancient brilliance, whether purely human or influenced by something far older and more mysterious. What do you think? Could the Anunnaki have left their mark on Persia? Or is Persepolis simply a marvel of human ingenuity? Let us know in the comments below. Persepolis remains one of the greatest architectural and cultural achievements of the ancient world. Its towering columns, intricate reliefs, and sheer scale make it a site that continues to inspire awe and curiosity. Built by the mighty Achaemenid Empire, Persepolis was a symbol of Persian power and divine authority, meant to stand for eternity. But beyond its historical grandeur lies a deeper mystery, one that raises fascinating questions about the origins of human civilization and the possible influence of something beyond our recorded history. Was Persepolis purely a product of human ingenuity, a marvel crafted by the skilled artisans and engineers of the Persian Empire? Or does its construction hold traces of an older, lost knowledge, one that may have been passed down through generations, perhaps from the Sumerians, the Babylonians, or even the legendary Anunnaki? The similarities between Persepolis and other ancient sites, from Mesopotamian ziggurats to Egyptian temples, suggest that ancient civilizations shared architectural styles, mythologies, and possibly even technologies. While mainstream historians attribute this to cultural exchange and natural progression, alternative theorists propose a different possibility. Could these ancient structures be remnants of a forgotten era of advanced knowledge, one influenced by celestial beings, lost civilizations, or the Anunnaki themselves? The debate between mainstream history and ancient mystery is ongoing. Archaeologists see no need for extraterrestrial or unknown influences to explain Persepolis's construction, while ancient astronaut theorists argue that too many unanswered questions remain. Could the myths of divine intervention, seen in Persian and Mesopotamian traditions, be echoes of something real, something that shaped the course of early civilizations? Final question: did ancient gods or something else leave their mark on Persepolis? As we stand in the ruins of Persepolis today, looking at the intricate carvings and colossal gateways, we are left to wonder, were the builders of this city merely reflecting their beliefs in their gods, or were they recording a history far older than we understand? Did the Anunnaki, or some other forgotten source of wisdom, play a role in shaping the knowledge that built such ancient wonders? Call to action. Now, it's your turn to decide. What do you think? Was Persepolis simply the result of Persian skill and ambition, or could there be a hidden history waiting to be uncovered? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this exploration into ancient mysteries, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the secrets of history.